Baltit Fort is a fort in the Hunza Valley near the town of Krimabad in the Gilgit Baltistan region of northern Pakistan. Founded in the 8th century, it has been on the UNESCO World Heritage tentative list since 2004. In the past, the survival of the feudal regime of Hunza was ensured by the impressive fort, which overlooks Krimabad. The foundations of the fort date back to 700 years ago, with rebuilds and alterations over the centuries. In the 16th century, the local prince married a princess from Baltistan who brought master Baltit craftsmen to renovate the building as part of her dowry. The maids of Hunza abounded in the fort in 1945 and moved to a new palace down the hill. The fort started to decay, which caused concern that it might possibly fall into ruin. Following a survey by the Royal Geographical Society of London, a restoration program was initiated and supported by the Aga Khan Trust for Culture Historic Cities Support Program. The program was completed in 1996 and the fort is now a museum run by the Baltit Heritage Trust. Several small independent states form part of the history of northern areas of Pakistan. Among them, Hunza and Nagar were traditional rival states situated on opposite sides of Hunza Kanjut River. The rulers of these two states were known as Tham, also Tham, or Thamo, built various strongholds to consolidate their power. According to historical sources, the Hunza rulers initially resided in nearby Altit Fort, but after a conflict between the two sons of the ruler Sultan, Shah Abbas and Ali Khan. Shah Bose moved to Baltit Fort, making it the capital seat of Hunza. The power struggle between the two brothers eventually resulted in the death of younger one, and so Baltit Fort became the prime seat of power in the Hunza state. I shoot to thumb Mir of Hunza in the early 15th century married Princess Shah Khatun from Baltistan. In Mughal history, Baltistan is called Tibet Khut, which means Little Tibet, and was the first of modify the face of Altit and subsequently Baltit Fort. Baltistan had a very strong cultural and ethnical relation with the Ladakh territory to the east. Not surprisingly, the structure of Baltit Fort was influenced by Ladakhni Tibetan architecture with some resemblance to the Potala place in Lhasa. Then additions, renovation and changes to the buildings were being made through the centuries by a long line of following rulers of Hunza. Home of many ancient forts, the northern areas of Pakistan lost some of its heritage around in the 19th century as a result of attacks by the Maharaja of Kashmir. However, one of the biggest changes in the structure of the Baltit Fort come with the invasions of the British in December 1891. Safdar Ali Khan, ruler of Hunza, and its Wazir Datu Thara Beg III fled to befriended Kashgar, China, to seek political asylum with their fellows and families. With the concept of Hunza and Nagar states, the fortified wall and watchtowers of the old Baltit village and watchtowers of the Baltit Fort on its northwestern end were demolished as required by the British. They installed his younger brother Sir Muhammad Nazim Khan KCIE as the ruler of Hunza state in September 1892. Baltit Fort remained officially inhabited until 1945 when the last ruler of Hunza, Mir Muhammad Jamal Khan, moved to a new palatial house further down the hill, where the present Mir of Hunza, Mir Wazanfar Ali Khan, and his family are still residing. Conversation. With no proper authorities entrusted, the fort was exposed to the ravages of time, and over the years its structure weakened and began to deteriorate. His Highness Aga Khan initiated the restoration efforts for Baltit Fort in 1990 when Mir Ghaznfar Ali Khan was and his family generally transferred to the fort to the Baltit Heritage Trust, a public charity formed for the explicit purpose of owning and maintaining the fort. The restoration undertaken by the Aga Khan Trust for Culture and Geneva explicit purpose of on maintaining and the fort. In association with the Aga Khan Culture Service Pakistan, took 6 years to complete. The project was supported by the Aga Khan Trust for Culture as the main donor through its Historic Cities Support Program, as well as by the JT Grant Program USA, the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, and the French government. The restored fort, resplendent in its former regal glory, was inaugurated in 29 September 1996 in the presence of His Highness the Aga Khan Fort and the President of Pakistan, Farooq Ahmad Khan Lashkari. It is now operated maintained by the Baltit Heritage Trust and it's open to visitors. The Baltit Fort serves as a good example of culture restored and preserved for the future generations.